guys, in this video I want to do a comparison between the LG G2, G3, G4 and G5, you know, the LG generation. So I don't have the Optimus G. I think, you know, it was way too old phone. So I thought about starting from the G2 then up to the G5. So I'm going to be doing a comparison review here, talking about what's changed and all that, what LG has been doing since, you know, G2 days. So let's first start off with the display here. So you can see G2 had 5.2 inch 1080p screen, then they have 5.5 inch Quad HD display with the LG G3, and then they continued it with the G4, and now it's the same thing with the G5, but it's now a little bit smaller, 5.3 inch. So you can notice that the G5 and the G2, they look a lot, you know, similar in terms of design language, you know, have roundish design. Also, if we talk about the build quality of these devices, you can see that LG has been using plastic on their phones for the past 3 generations. You can see, first of all, G2 plastic, then of course we have the leather option, but it is also a plastic phone. The G4, and now finally they have moved towards something you can say premium. It's basically, there's a paint on the back, so it's not actually full metallic body like something like this thing, you know, like this Nexus 6P. This is a full aluminum phone. You can feel the aluminum in your hand, the premiumness, but the LG G5 is not like that. It's a different thing. So LG explained that in order to hide those antenna bands, they have used this paint, but yeah, I mean, that actually removed the premium feel out of the phone. So it is definitely something that people hate about this phone. The most hated thing is its design. You know, all the other stuff are good, but this design is not that good, especially compared to the competition. You know, it is a $650 plus phone, and yeah, with that money you can get like phones like Note 5, Nexus 6P. So build quality, it really is an important thing here. So yeah, that's what the build quality was. Plastic, then they moved towards something premium. Also, if we talk about the power and the volume keys here on the back, so they placed it on the back of the G2. That was a major step, and I think that was in right direction. It was a great move, and it continued with the G3. You can see power button changed a little bit, but most of the design language was same thing with the G4. And now, due to the fingerprint sensor, we now have the volume rocker on the side instead of on the back. So, but we still get our power button on the back with the fingerprint sensor. So now it's more like a Nexus 6P fingerprint sensor, you know, but only difference is that the power button is also inside. So still a pretty unique thing here. You can also notice that we had the LG logo on the back of the G2, then it moved into the center on the G3, then it disappeared from the back, it came on the front, and now we have a G5 logo on the LG G5, and also on the front you get the LG logo. So LG logo has been shifting its places, but the G5 is the first time ever they have the G5 letter. You know, that's also a new thing you can say. And if we talk about the speakers, this is something again that LG have used. Same thing with the G2, you know, for the G5. You can notice that with the G2 and G5 you get speaker at the bottom. So there is a speaker here, and I gotta say it's a really nice speaker, really loud. And with the G2 the speakers were on the bottom, of course. Then with the G3 and G4 they had the speaker at the back. So again, change common between the G5 and the G2. Also, if we talk about the cameras on these phones, of course, 13 megapixel on the LG G2, then invent again 13 megapixel on the LG G3, and of course there was some new addition. So with the LG G2 you had 13 megapixel camera with LED flash, that's all, okay? But with the LG G3 they added something great, which is called as laser autofocus. Same thing continued with the G4, but the camera resolution was bumped to 16 megapixels. Then we had again 16 megapixel sensor, again with the laser autofocus and LED flash, but a secondary 8 megapixel camera for ultra wide shots. That's great. That is something that we might see on the iPhone 7 also. If we talk about the softwares on these phones, again, they have their own custom UI, LG's UI or UX UI, whatever they want to call it. So, I mean, it's of course a custom skin on top of Android. Over the years, it feels like there was a lot of bloatware, especially if we take a look on the G2. You can see these are all pre-installed applications, so these are a lot of apps. Okay, with the LG G3, same thing. The bloatware went a little less, but still it was a lot. With the G4, we only had just one page of apps, you know, when you first boot your phone up. And of course, these are some of my installed apps from App Play Store. But yeah, their UI become more thinner and thinner. And until the LG G5, they removed the app drawer. But of course, you can add it if you want to. But initially, the G5's UI will look like this, just home screens. And most of the stuff is removed. There's no dual window thing now. Maybe they will include it with the new firmware version, but currently I can't find it on my G5. And overall, it's just more of a lighter version, you know. And of course, you're not slave of LG to use this UI, okay? You're not a slave. This is Android. You are free to do the customization. You are free to customize your Android experience the way you want, try out launchers and stuff like that. And of course, you can root these phones and have custom ROMs and tons of stuff, you know. Possibilities are endless. But just if we talk about the software change, basically they made it more lighter and lighter over the years, that's all. And yeah, overall it's a good thing that they have their bootloader unlocked. You know, I think most of the LG phones, flagship phones, have their bootloader unlocked, so you can customize them the way you want. And also, if we talk about the processor and RAM, the G2 here has a Snapdragon 800 processor. The G3 comes with the Snapdragon 801. The LG G5 comes with Snapdragon 808. Okay, so that's a little bit weird because LG always went with the flagship processors, but with the G4 they went with Snapdragon 808 because Qualcomm, they messed up with the Snapdragon 810. There was a heating issue, and LG they did a wrong step. They made a wrong step with the G Flex 2, I think. Yeah, that's the name. They had Snapdragon 810 inside of G Flex 2, and it had heating issues. Customers were angry, and then they had Snapdragon 808, you know, they decided to put Snapdragon 808 inside of their main flagship phone. And then finally, back with the LG G5, we have the best performance, the best top-of-the-line chipset, Snapdragon 820, really fast performance. Also, RAM-wise, we had 2GB of RAM on the G2, went to 3GB on the LG G3, went to again 3GB on the LG G4, and now it's 4GB on the G5, which is absolutely beast. There's no issue with the RAM management. You can open up like 7 to 8 heavy apps without even worrying about them closing in the background. So it's a total beast of a phone when it comes to the performance. And what else? Also, if we talk about the battery, battery, it was 3000 milliamp hours on the G2, on the G3, and the G4. And if I'm not wrong, I think yes, the 3000 milliamp hour battery was on these three phones. They never improved it, of course. They gave us the option to remove the battery. You can remove the back of the G2. You can also remove the back of the G3 and the G4. And then they went modular with the LG G5. Now, of course, like I said, this may not be the best looking phone or best premium phone, but it does have something that other phones don't have, which is the modularity, or having this modular design where you can remove the battery. I mean, even though it's a semi-premium phone or semi-metallic phone, still you can remove the battery. This is amazing. This is innovative, and you can just imagine what LG can bring with the LG G6 or something like that in the future. So LG, I know that they're genius. They always bring in some new things, and new innovative things, So modular design allows us to remove the battery, and also, like I said, 2,800 milliamp battery on the G5 went actually smaller with the G5 compared to the last year's, and it's actually better. It does depends on the milliamp hours, but it also depends upon the software optimization. Now the software is much more lighter, so there's not like a bloatware thing running in the background. Also with the Marshmallow you get dose mode, and combine all of that, you can get a better battery life on your G5 compared to the previous G series phones. And last but not the least, of course, micro SD card slot was always there since the beginning. Thank you LG for that. That is amazing. And still, I should say, LG, they make great phones. If you are thinking about buying the G5 and you're thinking that it might not be actually, it might not actually be according to your expectations, especially in terms of feel, then I say it's not that much of a big deal, to be really honest. I mean, if you have, like, if your friend has S7 Edge or like any other premium phone, then it might hurt a little bit, but overall it's a great phone. And also one more thing to mention is that it does have USB Type-C, which is also a big change compared to the USB 2.0s on the LG G2, G3 and G4, so that's also a nice thing. But overall, like I said, with the G5 they really use the design language of the LG G2, roundish design, but premium now, a little bit semi-premium, whatever. So yeah, a comparison of the G series. Do let me know in the comment section down below what you think about the new G5, and also if you enjoy my videos, why not subscribe to this channel? So yeah, catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.